Seattle Children's Hospital forced doctors to attend a racially segregated diversity training that asked Black doctors to acknowledge that they're systemically targeted for demise, aka victims, and also asked white doctors to tap into their repressed racial memories to develop a white race consciousness, aka nonsense. Reporting from Aaron Sibarium over at the Washington Free Beacon really dives into this training that took place at Seattle Children's Hospital. This was held back in August of 2022, so not necessarily recently, and probably in part in light of the Black Lives Matter movement that was still really a lot more culturally relevant than it is right now, but worth going through nonetheless, because this training was mandatory for the gastroenterology department and divided participants into three, quote, racial caucuses: a white caucus, a black caucus, and a non-black POC, which means people of color caucus, to, quote, minimize harm to our Black learners and facilitators. And there's really just a bunch of woke crap put on a PowerPoint slides. But what was happening is that each caucus had to complete some sort of racial identity development exercises. So the Black caucus was asked things like, how do you work against internalizing anti-Black messages? And for the non-Black POC people, they were asked to consider which of your actions are anti-Black and how Black people will always be more susceptible to structural racism than other non-Black people of color. So even the non-Black POC are still not victim enough. It's comical. And then the white doctors were asked how they were going to divest from their whiteness and unpack their racial stories by drawing on these repressed racial memories. I have no idea what that is. If you know what that is, chime in the comments, because I have no clue what's going on. And I guess they were also asked to commit to practicing racial storytelling with at least one other white person. I would be so offended if I was a part of this. I'd be like, what the fuck? I don't know how people deal with this kind of stuff. But the training, I guess, offers a window into how one of, obviously, the top-ranked pediatric hospitals in the country has made racial identity a touchstone of its diversity efforts. They have crazy scholarships, and they offer a microaggression reporting system for medical students, which is really just tattletaling on peers. It's quite crazy. There was one part of this article, give me 1 second. Right here. It says, at Seattle Children's Hospital, which is affiliated with the University of Washington School of Medicine, stomach doctors are encouraged to self-segregate even after the training has ended. It says BIPOC learners should commit to immersing themselves, quote, in racial ethnic experiences in group setting, while, quote, white learners should work with other white people to foster racial identity formation. So they're really just encouraging segregation or resegregation. This is the kind of crap that makes everyone more racist and feel like people of other races are othered. It's just like, it's not helpful to resegregate the population. And yet somehow if you're anti-segregation, you're anti-Black. Like, square that circle for me, please. Or circle that square for me. I don't know. Which one is it? I think it's circle that square. I don't know. Either way, none of this makes sense to me.